Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Connor. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good as well, thanks.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me today.
No,
Really
my pleasure.
appreciate it. I really recognized your name from my stuff, and I was like, where have I written about him? Where have I written about him? I actually covered Joanne Shaw Taylor's show at the Indigo at the O2 when you supported her.
Oh, wow.
Um, and I wrote, and I quote, making waves on the blues scene. I think we'll hear a lot more of him in the near future. And here we are. So I that was me telling the future, I think. Um,
Yeah,
so
excellent.
I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I only have a few questions. Um, but The Truth Comes Out Eventually, your new album, that comes out on the 29th of August. How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about the album?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming with this album. I recorded it just over a year ago, and some of these songs, go back years and years. So really, really excited to share it with the world and get it out there.
Amazing, and I'm sure your listeners are incredibly excited as well. What was the creative process like for you? You just said, some of these songs go way back. How was the writing process for you, and what inspires you to get ideas for all of these songs? Because I'm not a songwriter, I can imagine it's quite hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I think, there's not any one particular place where these songs come from. I think they come from all different, they're inspired by different things. One thing I was really preoccupied with this record and my songwriting in general these days is trying to explore in a deeper level who I am and really explore my sensibilities and the things that the things that I'm interested in, the things that captivate me as a listener, when I listen to other people's music. Um, so that's what I tried to do on this album. And I think The Truth Comes Out Eventually, the title track, that's a really good kind of encapsulation of all those different things because the lyric is very much an exploration of me and just a sort of feeling that I've had throughout my life of not really belonging and not really fitting in and always kind of having to you know having to adapt to other people's expectations and not really being able to be myself, be my authentic self with people. Um, and musically it's kind of a combination of all the things I love. It's got the soul thing and the blues thing and touches of jazz and I think that song really encapsulates where I'm at the moment, where my headspace is as a writer.
Yeah, like it feels like quite sounds like it's quite a personal album for you then, especially that title track. I have
Yeah.
like had the privilege of listening to it, and I think it will definitely resonate with a lot of people that feel similar to that. I think especially in the world now, I think a lot of people will feel like that. And listening to your music, I think it will definitely resonate with those people for sure.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And you spoke about, what it's like to hear music and take it all in. Who are some of your influences, and are there specific influences you think have kind of dripped into this album specifically?
Yeah. So broadly speaking, my biggest musical influences are people like Eric Clapton. He was kind of the one that got me started with the guitar and opened my world up to all the old school blues music, which I really love. And Ray Charles is another huge inspiration. Um, yeah, people like Van Morrison and all the old soul guys, Bill Withers,
Yeah,
Otis Redding, all that kind of stuff. But with this album, there's a few things that are slightly different to things I've done in the past. I mean, on my previous record, there were a few songs which were kind of leaning more towards the singer-songwriter thing, but I think I really honed in on that on some of these songs on the new record, and people like Ray LaMontagne and Nora Jones and Nick Drake. I was obsessed with Nick Drake for a long time when I was younger. I completely was captivated by his music and I fell in love with it. And there's a couple of songs on the album, Amelia and Songbird. which I wrote around that time, which is I was probably 18, 17, 18 at that
Yeah.
time. And I've had these songs for years and years and never really knew what to do with them. Because I kind of felt they didn't fit with the other blues music that I was doing. But with this record I sort of I came to the realization that it doesn't really matter, all these different songs represent different aspects of my artistry
Oh,
and who I
absolutely.
am. Otherwise I wouldn't have written them.
And
So
different
they're all
times in your
valid.
life as well.
Yeah, yeah, for
You know,
sure.
17, 18, such formative years, you think you're such an adult and you look back and you think,
Yeah.
"Oh, I was a child." Like, absolutely not. Do you look back on those songs and maybe find different meanings for them now,
Yeah.
a little bit older? You wrote them 17, 18, that's nothing. And, you go back and you think, oh, maybe I was feeling something different to what I actually thought I was at the time. Do you think that, or do they bring up a lot more of the same feelings for you as you felt when you were writing them?
I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think the really interesting thing for me, at least, with my songs is when I write them, I tend not to really think about them, like
Yeah.
think about what I'm actually writing. I know it sounds strange, but
No, it doesn't.
it's I kind of treat them like diary entries or something. Like I
Mm.
just put them out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the songs require a lot of crafting and stuff,
Yeah, of course.
but generally it's I just write and I don't overthink it. And then, you know, with some of my older songs, given that some time has passed, I am able to go back and look at them retrospectively
Mm.
and think about what I was trying to get at. And oftentimes, I do, it's only later that I really realize the meaning of the song. And, it's only with the benefit of hindsight and being able to look back on them that, I really understood, what I was getting at when I wrote them. Um, which, yeah, that kind of, for me, that's kind of an amazing thing, the fact that I'm able to do that. And yeah, with those two songs in particular, like I never forgot about them. They're always kind of lurking in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I showed them to a few people, and particularly the Amelia song, and everyone was like, these are really, really good. You should do something with them. And they definitely take me back to a time when I was probably a bit more of a hopeless romantic, maybe. I mean, I still am to some extent, but when you're younger, at least
Of
for me, I
course.
was, yeah, definitely more of one. But yeah, what's kind of amazing is even though they are old, and I was so young when I wrote them, I feel like they all fit together,
Mm.
I feel like in the context of the rest of the album, they make sense. And maybe if I hadn't told people that I wrote them, then people wouldn't assume that.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I mean, it feels coherent. It doesn't sound like you're flitting between two times of your life at 100%. Um, so you start performing the album, you start a little tour on the 20th of August, is that right?
Um,
Southampton?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yes. So will you be playing some of the new stuff there? I worded that question a bit wrong. Will you be playing some of the new album on those little stretch of shows?
yes, I definitely will. Yeah,
Very exciting.
I've been
And
playing some of the songs for quite a long time actually, because
yeah.
like The Truth Comes Out Eventually. I've been playing that for a while, and some of the
Mm.
other songs in the record, and but yeah, it's going to be really exciting to play the whole lot of them. And
Yeah.
just in the last few shows, I've actually started doing some of the acoustic songs as well,
Amazing.
and they've been going down pretty good with the audiences. So I'm excited to see how
Yeah.
people respond to them on the tour.
Yeah, brilliant. So, like I said, you start out in Southampton. Is there anywhere in particular you're quite excited to play or you're really looking forward to being in?
Um, yeah, it's a good question. I'm not sure there's any one particular place. I mean, there's a few places on the tour that I haven't really been to before. I haven't really played in Bristol probably before, that I can recall. Um, at least not in my own right, and Manchester as well, I think. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the whole thing really, and hopefully it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. And like during those shows, is there any particular track that you haven't played live yet that you're really excited for your listeners to hear live?
To be honest, it's the acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I have done it I have started to introduce them over the last few shows, but largely speaking, people don't really know that side of me. Like I'm kind of known for playing blues and
Mm.
like guitar-based blues. So it'll be interesting to see how people respond to those songs. Like I say, so far it's been really good, and particularly with the single release of Amelia yesterday, the feedback has been really nice from people and really positive, and everyone seems to be responding to the song in a good way. So hopefully that continues.
Amazing. Well, I mean, it's such an exciting new little chapter that you're about to go on with the album coming out and the set of shows. And my last question for you, is a question that I ask everyone that I interview. I've had varying answers for it, to say the least. Um, but what is the best piece of advice that you've been given about music? And it could be about music, or it could just be life in general that you would like to pass on to everyone watching from Rock News.
I think for me, uh, I think it's really important that you go with your gut instinct,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah.
creatively and also just in all aspects of your life. I think that's one thing I've learned, I mean, I haven't been around that long in the music industry, but I've had my fair share of experiences and ups and downs and stuff, and I think ultimately all you can do is just try and stick to your guns, and people are gonna tell you to do things that you might not want to do, and people are gonna try and push you in different directions. Not necessarily in a bad way, but yeah, it's really important that whenever you go into any situation, firstly you know what you want from it, and and that you're conscious of that, and that you make decisions based on, yourself and what you want. And because of course people think they know you and people think they have your best intentions, but at the end of the day, only you really know who you are. And if you feel something doesn't work for you, then you don't have to do it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it's important not to lose touch with yourself, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
That's very good advice. Well, Connor, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me. I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure.
And we're really excited to see what happens next for you. And hopefully, I'll catch one of your gigs soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Thanks a
thank you
lot.
so much. Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too. Thanks,
Thank
Polly.
you. No worries. Thank you. Bye.